Here's the big question we want to answer. Is your construction business designed to fail? Some businesses are structurally designed for success and some are designed to fail. Did you know there was a skyscraper that was designed to fail? Hey, I'm Todd Dawalt from ConstructionLeadingEdge.com, host of the Construction Leading Edge podcast. And back in 1978, the Citigroup Center stood tall as an architectural marvel in the heart of New York City. But hidden within its sleek design lay a critical flaw that could have led to catastrophe. You see, about a year after it opened, an engineering student did an assignment on the building and realized something was wrong. They called the architect and said something like, "Hey, Mr. Architect, I don't think this building can handle strong winds coming at the corners of the building." The architect, who probably had funky glasses and wore fancy shoes out the job site, said, "Everything's fine." Then the architect had his team check the calculations on the unusual design, which had 4 pillars in the middle of the exterior walls instead of at the corners, and realized he had only calculated winds perpendicular to the building and had neglected the quartering wind coming at the corners, and then it got worse. To save money, the beams were not welded, but they were only connected with bolts, and after doing the calculations, he figured out that the wind speeds of a storm that occur about every 16 years could simply cause the building to overturn. It would tear the surrounding buildings to the ground with it. So what did they do? Well, with the greatest possible secrecy, teams came into the occupied building and they worked at night. Carpenters built temporary partitions, welders reinforced the connections, and cleanup crews showed up at about 4 a.m., so that in the morning, everything was back to normal. So what was the root cause? The architect came to the realization that his building was designed to fail. So after working with hundreds of construction business owners over the past 25 years, I've learned that some businesses are designed for success and some are designed for failure. And here's the big question we want to answer. Is your construction business designed to fail? Let's talk about contractor failure. The FMI Corp started studying the subject of why do construction companies fail. They studied a few hundred successful contractors that self-destructed, and they published a study back in 2007, and they've been updating it every few years since then. And there was one statement that was kind of shocking. They said when contractors fail, they do it to themselves. External factors like interest rates, inflation, labor shortage, election years are not primary causes. When contractors fail, they do it to themselves. It doesn't happen to them. In the course of their study, they determined 5 root causes of contractor failure. 5 reasons successful contractors self-destruct. Reason number 3, too much change. Firefighting and spinning out of control are phrases that executives often use in their descriptions of companies that took on too much change on their way to financial meltdown. They said things like, "We blew up because we had too many moving parts. We couldn't keep our focus and fight the fires at the same time." Reason number 4 behind contractor failures was the loss of discipline. A lack of discipline is often seen in the lack of a way that a company does things. There is no standardization of processes or systems. Let me say that again. Lack of standardized processes and systems are a strong sign that a company may be heading toward failure. So what does this look like in a small construction business? We don't have time in this video to cover all 5 root causes, so let's talk about what it looks like in real life. But before we get into that, if you want to know about the other 3 root causes of contractor failure, or if you're concerned your business may be at risk and you want to know how to solve it before it's too late, you can schedule a business evaluation call with my team at ConstructionLeadingEdge.com/apply, or there's a button or a link on this page that you can use to schedule that call. Now, what does this look like in a small construction business? This is Tim. Tim owns a construction business. I want you to think about Tim's business like a machine. It has inputs on the left side: time, sales, labor, material, capital, information. It also has outputs on the right side: profits, lifestyle, maybe customer satisfaction, company culture, things like that. When we look around for Tim, we open up the hatch on the machine that is his business, and there's Tim in the machine. He's working inside the business, wearing lots of hats, managing projects, doing sales, running jobs, doing bookkeeping, scheduling, maybe working with tools on, maybe, God forbid, doing free estimates. He's an integral part of the business, which is fine for a while. Then some problems start to pop up. When Tim tries to step away from his business, he realizes he can't. He's trapped in day-to-day operations. Even though he has a few people on his team, Tim has designed his business to run through him and around him. It's all in his head. He makes all the decisions. Every problem comes to him. He's accidentally designed his business to fail. He is stuck. This creates some problems for Tim. The first one is what I would call profit without lifestyle. Maybe Tim is making good money, but he's working 60, 70 hours a week and he can't enjoy it. No hobbies, doesn't exercise. He's stressed, he's not sleeping well, can't turn it off. His wife has to show his kids a picture of him every once in a while so they remember what he looks like. Who's that man, Mommy? He looks familiar. That's your dad, honey. He works a lot. Even worse is the no profit, no lifestyle situation where Tim's not making money, he's working his ass off, and he wonders why he's working so hard when he doesn't have anything to show for it. At this point, Tim may even be thinking about polishing up his resume and going back to work for somebody else. And there are some other problems too. Because Tim is stuck working in the business all the time, he doesn't have time to go look at his inputs. He doesn't have time to focus on sales, which sometimes puts him on this roller coaster or a feast or famine mode. He realizes he's about to run out of work, so he climbs out of his machine, he goes out, he sells a bunch of work, and he climbs back in the machine, and then the cycle starts all over. He doesn't have time to plan or schedule his projects, so he's not making good use of his time. His days get hijacked, and he spends a lot of time firefighting mode because he doesn't have systems for his team to follow. He doesn't have time to focus on staffing, like recruiting, hiring, onboarding, training, doing performance reviews, building company culture, finding new subcontractors. Maybe he desperately needs to hire somebody, but he can't. Material selections get made at the last minute or they get made too late. Materials are ordered too late, or they're ordered wrong, or they have the wrong quantity, which sets off a chain reaction of chaos. The flow of information is not good. Field crews get just enough information to start, which is one of the main reasons Tim is stuck in his machine, because too much of the information about projects goes through him or it's locked away in his head. He definitely doesn't have time to look at his financial situation, or maybe he's afraid to, or some combination of those things. Several of the inputs could be trending in the wrong direction. Maybe Tim knows what the problems are, or even worse, he doesn't see that the problems are coming and he gets blindsided. I'm curious, does that sound familiar? Does any of that sound familiar? Well, you're not alone. And at this point, if you want to make a meaningful change in any part of your life, whether it's streamlining your business, losing some weight, getting in better shape, fixing your marriage, if you want to make meaningful change, you have 3 options to choose from. Option number 1 is do nothing, status quo. Keep doing the same things, keep on getting the same results. Option 2 is DIY yourself. Figure out how to solve the problem on your own. Figure out how to create systems and processes, which could take a lot of time through trial and error. A lot of learning curve there. Option number 3 is find a proven system that delivers the results you're looking for. Just like when you need concrete for a foundation, a slab, or a driveway, you probably go with a proven system and you call the ready-mix plant, right? So look, if you would like to learn about the other root causes of contractor failure to make sure your business is designed to succeed, not designed to fail, or if you would like to learn about the 5 steps to systematizing your business, which gave Mikhail Ganaj the tools to grow his bottom line from 2% to 15% while increasing his top line by $1 million a year, and helped Andy grow his revenue in his remodeling company 75% in 1 year, and allowed him to acquire another company, and helped John be more forward-looking as opposed to being stuck in the next 4 hours. Or if you want to find out if your business is designed to fail, then schedule your free business evaluation call with the Construction Leading Edge team. There's a link on this page where you can do that, or you can go to constructionleadingedge.com/apply. Hey, my name's Todd Dawalt from Construction Leading Edge. Schedule your free business evaluation call and learn about those other factors of contractor failure, and let's evaluate your business and make sure it's designed for success.